Alright, so today we are back to our normal programming, hopefully. 3 deer running up the street. I just found out yesterday that the gym actually adjusted their hours on the weekend a little bit. Not a ton, but they're open till 8 p.m., which means theoretically, if everything lined up at work and I didn't get stuck there late, I could probably sneak in a workout after work. So the idea, the plan might be now is to do cardio at home in the garage on the bike, and then go to the gym after work and sneak in an hour and a half there before they close. We'll see. The rest wasn't the worst. I could definitely feel my back and my legs were definitely a bit sore still. So I don't think it was a waste of time, but obviously not as productive as if I was able to continue going to the gym and everything through that whole set. So today is a push day. And for today, it's going to be, I think I might go back to a flat bench just for a week, just to say I did. I have been really liking the incline though, but I'm thinking what's going to happen, it'll be a flat bench and then probably incline dumbbell. We'll see how it feels. I've been trying to save like Smith machine and stuff like that for days, like upper body days where I'm hitting a lot more different groups all at once, just because they fatigue a little quicker. So probably flat barbell, incline dumbbell, and then maybe a machine and a couple flies. And then to finish everything off, it'll be probably 2 or 3 sets of some tricep workouts. That cannot be done though until I get the cardio in. So that's my mission as soon as I get there, is get on the bike. And my wife beat my Suica score, so I'm going to try and get ahead of her on that one. The gym is jam-packed today because it is the first full day they're open back up. And I guess everyone's coming in for their first workout of the month, or not month, the week. Holy man. I can't be super long here, but I should have enough time. Amy is not going to work today, which means I don't have to race back home to get the kids prepped. So I'll get this set up, go in there. I'm probably not going to record inside because it's way too busy this morning, but I do plan on trying to do that this week. I know I keep saying that, but I'll go get this done and I'll be back with you in a moment. Boys, what is going on here now? So we're gonna let this truck go or what? Oh my god, it's like a 4-way stop. It's not that confusing, people. Holy shit. So push or chest and tries, whatever you want to call it, it is done for this, well, for this 5 days. I didn't say this week, but we're gonna hit it again on upper body, and I guess it'll be exactly a week. So this week it's done. I ended up doing incline benches on the Smith machine, which was probably a good choice because I still feel like without a spotter anyways, it's kind of sketchy to push the weights like I want to do. I'm trying to kind of maintain my set count and weights that's pushing. So if I'm on just an incline bench or a flat bench, I feel like I'd probably be a little bit more reluctant to actually push myself. Whereas the Smith machine, I have a little bit of a safety net. None of the benches at our gym have the safety catches, so unless you want to go into like one of the overhead, like the like a rack, and there's only 2 of those there, and they want to use one of those up just for bench presses when there's, you know, a bunch of benches that are free and available. So that's what we ended up going with. What else? So we did that, moved over to, what did I do after that one? I did chest curls with the dumbbells, and then went to a cable fly on the machine, and then just finished off with a couple of like failure sets of pec deck. So I think I did 3 sets on there till failure. And that pretty much finished off the chest part of the workout. With the chest flies, my triceps are already kind of activated, which was nice. So moving over to the triceps afterwards was pretty easy. Didn't really need a whole ton of warm up on it. What did we start with? Straight bar push downs on like the easy curl kind of extension bar, and then moved over to overhead tricep extensions, and finished off with like a outward single arm tricep extension to try and hit all of the 3 heads of the tricep. And that was it. We got all that done in just under an hour, so it's going to give me time to head home now and get the kiddos and get them off to school. For the rest of my day today, it's going to be meal prepping and, well, maybe not a whole ton of like meal prep, but I have to figure out what I'm going to be eating for food because it's night shift tonight. It's like that weird switchover day, so I'll probably spend the first part of my morning getting some stuff sorted out for meals, and then hopefully get a nap in today, because last week when I tried to raw dog that shift without napping, it was an actual nightmare because it was so busy. So it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try and squeeze in a nap of some sorts. Nothing else really. I did cardio this morning. That went well. It was a little tough at first, but once I kind of got back in the groove, it was fine. I definitely feel like working in those weekend workouts when the gym's kind of has those weird hours is going to help me out, because I do find even like a 2-day kind of break from the routine makes it really tough to start back up again. And it shouldn't be as difficult as it is, but for some reason I find it really tough. Anyways, I got to pick up a couple things from work and then race back home, and that's that. So one thing that I definitely have to do at some point this next week or two is decide what I'm going to commit to over the next 3 weeks, because at work there's been I have at least 3 like special projects on the go right now, and unfortunately, they're going to have conflicting timelines on my schedule. So it's kind of been something I know for a fact that I've always struggled with, is deciding on like what, not deciding, but even just, I don't say like picking up the courage, but having the wherewithal or the common sense to say no sometimes. I don't want to call it like, well, maybe it is ambition. I have a bad habit of saying yes to everything. It's essentially what it comes down to. So at some point, this week, I'm going to have to decide what I can commit to and what I'm not going to be able to commit to, because unfortunately, there's actually 4 things I'm going to have to commit to this month in the next 3 weeks. So I got my own personal CME, so that's basically education that I have to take for myself for my certifications as a paramedic. That's about 4 hours plus some online training. Then I'm also signed up as an instructor to teach part of those same rounds to the rest of our staff. So I'll have likely a couple days of that. And then there's also a program which we're implementing for those training rounds, which is called like MCI training, which is basically, I kind of talked about it a little bit before, is like the CTASing or color coding patients during, accidents where there's multiple patients. So, holy man, that sun is a additional person or character that might be a little too much for the camera right now. There we go. I don't know if I can set it up to be like a variable ISO on these. It doesn't seem to like to do that. It's an option I'm going to look at. Anyways, back to what I was talking about. This MCI training is essentially like what you'd do if you went to something like a structure collapse or a tornado or something, where there's a lot of patients involved. So there's programs that already exist out there, but we are essentially, not trying to modify, but we have to modify the content so that we can present it to our staff so that they understand it. So that is another thing that's on the go for me. So I have my own training, developing the MCI training the other staff on our defibrillators and some of our new protocols around cardiac arrest patients. What else was there? There's a patient intervention course that I'm registered for at the end of the month, which is 4 days, which conflicts with a lot of those training dates that I was just talking about. And what was the 4th one? Oh, we have our off-road response. So the course that I did, oh man, when this probably gets uploaded, it'll probably be like maybe almost a month and a half, 2 months ago. But from the time when I'm recording this, we took the course probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that we're currently in process of developing kind of like a modified or like a light version of that program where we can train all of our staff on how to use some of the equipment so that when we deal with patients that are, I don't want to say like in a severe wilderness situation, but stuck in a bike trail that maybe is like 500 meters or a kilometer away from the closest road access or something like that, we can still, have the majority of our staff be comfortable going out to go get them. There's some new equipment and skills that we've learned that will, help ensure that we can do that safely. So that's something else that we're working on. sorry if it looks like I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm just looking at the ISO to make sure it's not going to be severely like underexposed, because I found in some of the videos that I'm reviewing, just because where I drive, there's like a lot of like shaded areas, and then I'm back out in the sun. It's really hard to balance that out. That's something I'm going to have to look at. See if I can set an auto ISO for that. Maybe works a little bit better. I'm probably underexposing most of the time. Oh my god. Some guy was just driving by, he had like a ski mask on his passenger seat headrest, so it looked pretty funny. So yeah, that's something well, the other whole thing too is around those projects. I still have to obviously have time to be at home with my family and help out with the kids and, you know, actually be a parent and a husband. So that's the thing that I always find tricky, is when I'm at work and I'm in like, yeah, I want to do these things and I want to commit to, you know, helping, you know, train or be involved with implementing new programs, is that I get kind of committed into that headset or that headspace and mindset that I often overextend myself and then forget that I don't forget, but I maybe extend myself to the point where I don't allow myself to have a lot of time for things at home, because we still have hockey, we have, you know, Thanksgiving, there's Halloween, all that stuff at the end of the month too for us in Canada. And what else? There's something else in this whole gaggle of responsibilities that I'm forgetting about, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Oh, come on. Anyways, I just thought about it and now I can't remember what it was. Training. Oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts. What the hell was it? Nice signal, dude. It was not something to do with hockey. Anyways, there's something else in there that I am forgetting about, which I'm gonna remember, and it's gonna come as a big surprise probably. But either way, based on what I've already covered, I have the onboarding of new students. So I have to interview students that are coming in for placements in the fall with us at work. Thankfully, that's probably only about a 1-day thing. Maybe, well, one extra day that I'm not at work, plus a day where I'll be at work for like orientations and stuff. But it shouldn't be a huge commitment. I'm kind of at my point with that that program, or that kind of what do you want to call it? I guess we'll call it a program. But I've kind of taken on that responsibility, and now it's something I'm committed to doing because no one else is really involved with it right now. I have people helping me with the interviews and stuff, but not at a level where they're going to actually organize the interviews and everything for me. So let's see if we can sneak through here. Either way, I got a busy few weeks, and obviously between all that, I want to save time for workouts, cardio. Like I said before, being home with the family, making meals, being like a normal human every once in a while. So probably going to spend a bit of time today picking and choosing what I'm going to be able to do. Either way, I'm just pulling up back at the house, so probably going to be scrambling to get these kids packed up and off to school. For anyone who's still watching, thanks for sticking around and listening to me babble in my mouth and rant. And if this kind of parental adult struggle interests you, then feel free to follow along and subscribe for the next rant. And I'll see you in the next one.